Next problem is this one. It's asked in 2005. So at this configuration, all details are given. Omega is 8 radian per second. This link 2 is moving in this anti-clockwise direction, and the dimensions also have given. This is a 60, this is 240, and this is 160. Then we can calculate this length of the AB. So this is 240. So that this can be calculated using Pythagoras theorem. So if you calculate using Pythagoras theorem, that is the square root of 240 square plus 160 square equal to, this comes around 260 mm, 260 mm, and this is the thing. And first bit is what kind of 4 bar mechanism. So in the previous lectures we have already seen how to calculate this one. And so first of all we need to calculate length of the each one, and here L plus S. So largest link and the smallest link. What is the largest link? This is a 260. So 260 plus smallest link is 60. So that is a 320. What are other links? That is a P plus Q. So P plus Q equal to 160 plus 240. 160 plus 240. That is 400. So here L plus S less than P plus Q. So this is the class 1 mechanism, and within that one we need to see which link is fixed. So if it is if shortest link is fixed, then it will give double crank rotation. That means input and as well as output will make 360 degrees. But here, whereas side adjacent to smallest link is fixed, that is a 240 link is fixed. That means it gives crank and rocker mechanism. So here crank and rocker mechanism. The answer is B. And what is the second bit? So at this instant we need to find out the magnitude of the angular velocity of the O2B. That means omega 4 or angular velocity of the O4B. So for that one we need to find out the instantaneous center. So first let me mark this one. This is a link 1 and this is a link 2. This is a link 1 and this is a link 2, and this is a 3 and this is a 4. So here n equal to 4. That means instantaneous center equal to 6 again, and this is a I12 I23 at point A, and I34 at point B, and I14 at point O4, and remaining instantaneous centers are 1 and 3 comma instantaneous center 2 and 4. So here which one we need to identify, whether I13 or I24. Here we need to identify I24 because we need to find out angular velocity of the link 4. So instantaneous center that is having link 4 is I24. We need to identify this one. But whereas in the previous cases we identified I13 depending on our application. So how to identify I24? So we take the two sets. What are those two sets for calculating I? So first 1, 2 and 4. What is 1 to 4? So instantaneous center of 1 and 2. Here this is the instantaneous center of 1 and 2, and instantaneous center of 1 and 4. This is the 1 and 4. So that instantaneous center between 2 and 4 should lie on this line. So draw this line, extend this one, so it should be lie instantaneous center 2 4 should lie on this line, and take another set of links, that is 3 comma 2 comma 4. So what is the instantaneous center between 2 and 3? This is the A point. A is instantaneous center between 2 and 3, and instantaneous center between 3 and 4 equal is at the point B. So that instantaneous center between 2 and 3 for this set should lie on the line joining these 2 points. So if you draw this one, it would be like this along this one, and these two are meeting at this position. So this is the instantaneous center 2 and 4. 2 and 4. So we also know that what is the meaning of instantaneous center 2 and 4? That means at this these links 2 and 4 at this instant are rotating about this instantaneous center. That means relative velocity of the link 2 and as well as link 4 at this point is 0. That can be that can be understood in the other way also. That is, the absolute velocity of the link 2 at this instantaneous center 2 4 should be equal to the absolute velocity of the link 4 at this instantaneous 2 4. And here the this link 2 velocity of the link 2 at the instantaneous center 2 4 is not 0, but its a relative velocity at the instantaneous center 2 4 with respect to link 4 is 0. That means link 2 is having some certain definite amount of velocity at instantaneous center 2 4, and it's rotating about point O2 here. And here also link 4, its velocity at the instantaneous 2 4 is not 0, it's having some definite amount of value, but its relative velocity with respect to the link 2 at this point I 2 4 is 0, and this link 4 is rotating about the point O4. But instead, if I consider instantaneous center I13, what happens in this case? Because in the previous cases, so many times we have calculated I13, and there I mentioned that link 3 is rotating about the instantaneous center I13. Why? Because there link 1 is constant. So here link 1 is constant in I13, so that velocity of the link 3 at the instantaneous center I13 should also 0, because link 1 is constant, it's not having any velocity. So we know that absolute velocity of the link 1 and 3 at the instantaneous center 1 3 is 0. So that means link 3 in this case is rotating about the instantaneous center 1 3, but whereas in this case if you take link 2 and link 4, these are not rotating about the instantaneous center 2 4, but instead they are rotating about their fixed points, but their absolute velocity at the instantaneous center 2 4 is equal. That means its relative velocity becomes 0. Here also its relative velocity of link 1 and 3 at the instantaneous center 1 3 are 0. Link 1, this is link 1 and this is link 3, but here again link 1 is constant, that means it's having always 0 velocity. So to compensate that already stated theorem, that is absolute velocity of the link 1 and 3 should be equal, then its velocity at the instantaneous center link 3 velocity at the instantaneous center 1 3 should become 0. That means at this instant link 3 is rotating about the instantaneous center 1 3. Okay, I hope you can distinguish the difference now, and we need to find out velocity at this point. So again I will consider this link 2 as a very expanded disk in such a way that it is also having the point I24, or let's say I will call this point as a C. It's having a point C. So what is the velocity? What is the velocity Vc1 with respect to link 2 equal to omega 2 into distance O to C, and what is the velocity of the point C with respect to point 4. Now in this case I will consider this link 4 is very expanded disk in a such a way that it is having this point C on this one. So this is omega 4 into O4 C, but we know absolute velocity of these two links at this instantaneous center should equal. That means its relative velocity, then only its relative velocity becomes 0. So if I equate these two, omega 4 equal to omega 2 into O2 C by O4 C. So from this triangle, if I consider this as a theta, this as a theta, so I can calculate theta from this triangle. So if I calculate theta from this triangle, it becomes something like 22.618 degrees. So I know this length, so that I know this angle also, so that I can calculate this distance CO2. 8 8 is omega 2 into, which comes around 144 divided by what is O4C, that is a 240 plus 144. Then if you simplify this, answer is 3 radian per second. This is our next one, and it's very famous question. We have a cassette here. So in the cassette, these two spools are rotating. These two spools are rotating, so that this tape will bind on these spools. So first of all, let me identify how many links are there in this one. So here I will take this cassette frame as a link 1, which is a fixed one, and the spool, bigger spool, as a 2, and smaller spool is a 3, because this bigger spool is rotating in this direction. So that that means tape is releasing from this spool, and tape is going in this direction, and finally in this, so that this is rotating in this direction. And because this smaller spool is rotating in this direction, because of that one, this tape is winding on this one, and in turn it's releasing from this one. And what is the link 3? That link 3 is connecting the spool B with the spool G, and this point is considered as a H at the center of the spool G, and this is a spool B. And what is the link? Then what is the link? This is the link 3 connecting the spool 2 and 4. So how many links are there in this case? 4 links are there. And what's about this point D and E? Those are just for the guiding the tape. So they are not considered as links here. They are just for the guiding the tape. So this is the arrangement of a cassette with the 2 spools, and this tape or link 3 is considered as inextensible. So when it is inextensible, whatever amount of tape is going into the spool G is equivalent to the amount of tape released from the spool B. That means for an inextensible tape, the amount winding here is equivalent to amount released by spool B. That means, but here this diameter of the spools are not equal. This diameter of the spool B are linked to. So can I say D2 is greater than D1, D4? That means its velocity or omega, angular velocity of the spool 4 or spool G, then angular velocity of the spool omega 4 should greater than angular velocity of the 2, because it has to rotate, it has to do more rotation to cover the same distance on the tape compared to the bigger spool omega 2. But here it's given that R4 equal to R2 by 2. That means we can establish omega 2 or angular velocity of the spool 2 equal to double the it's half of the angular velocity of the spool 4. So this is the conclusion we can derive so far. We need to find out instantaneous center of the 2 spools, that is for the link 2 and 4. So again same case, we have a 4 instantaneous centers. So one is here, this is 1 and this is 2. So what is the instantaneous center between 1 and 2? That is at point A. This is the instantaneous center 1 and 2. At this point we have instantaneous center 1 and 4, and instantaneous center between 2 and 3. This is 2 and this is 3, and here in this way this tape is rotating as well as sliding on this one, so it should be something like this. It's a perpendicular to this line, a touching point, and it should pass through the center. So this is instantaneous center between link 2 and 3, and here also same. So this is the instantaneous center between link 3 and 4. So but here we need to find out instantaneous center between 2 and 4 comma instantaneous center between 1 and 3, but this is not asked, but we need to find out instantaneous center between the spools 2 and 4. So we need to find out this one. So how to find out instantaneous center 2 and 4? So again we will consider the same procedure, that is by considering the two sets consisting in different links. So first we consider 1, 2 and 4. So instantaneous center between 1 and 2 is this point, at the point A, and instantaneous center between 1 and 4 again at this point. So that instantaneous center between 2 and 4 or between two spools should lie on this line, and if I consider another set 3 comma 2 comma 4, again instantaneous center between 2 and 3 is again on this line. This is we have already seen 2, 3 is this one, and the instantaneous center between 3 and 4 again on this line. This is the one. So instantaneous center between 2 and 4 should be lie on this one, but we from these two sets we could deduce that instantaneous center 2, 4 should lie on this line, but we cannot figure out exact location of this one. But so far what we know is omega 2 equal to half of the omega 4. Let's say instantaneous center of the link 2 and 4 spools B and G equal to point at a point P, and this is the A is the center of the bigger spool and H is the center of the smaller spool, and we will consider these options one by one. What is the option A? The point P lies to left of both the spools. So if I consider both the spools, that means somewhere here at the infinity, line joining at the infinity, but we already know that instantaneous center at the instantaneous center of the spools 2 and 4, the velocities or absolute velocity of the spool B should equal to absolute velocity of the spool G. So if you take at the infinity, it cannot be equal because they have definite angular velocity, so it cannot be at the infinity, but instead it should be at a finite distance, and moreover here it cannot be at the left side always. Even if you consider a finite distance, it cannot be left side, because if I consider a point here at a distance, finite distance, for example say L from here, L from the bigger spool A, then what could be the velocity of the point P? Velocity of the point P with respect to A equal to omega 2 into AP, and velocity of the P with respect to the spool G or point H equal to omega 4 into again HP. But here this AP is less than HP, HP is greater than AP, so that to compensate this one, omega 4 should be less than omega 2, but that is not the case. Here HP is greater than AP, so that if these two velocities are equal and if HP is greater than AP, then it means omega 4 should be less than omega 2, but this is not the case. We have already known that omega 2 equal to omega 4 by 2, that means omega 4 is greater than omega 2. So this instantaneous center of these two spools can never be on the left side of these two. And let's consider the second option. So that is point P lies between two spools on the line joining A and A such that PH equal to 2AP. So for example, if the point is lying somewhere here, then if point is lying somewhere between that one, and so let's calculate velocity of the P with respect to the spool A. How we are calculating velocity of the P with respect to a same technique. So we extended this spool B such that it's having the instantaneous center P. So what is the velocity of the instantaneous center if you consider that on the spool B, that equal to omega 2 into AP. And what is the velocity of the P if I consider the point on the spool G, that equal to omega 4 into HP. But in this one it has given HP or PH equal to 2AP and omega 4 equal to 2 into omega 2. So 2 into omega 2 into 2 into AP. So that becomes 4 omega 2 AP. This is not equal to VPA. So option B also wrong, option A also wrong, and we will consider option C. In this case, P lies to the right of both these spools. So I consider somewhere here, P is considered somewhere here in this case. So and AH equal to HP. So in the same way we calculate whatever we did in the previous one, in the same way we calculate PA. So velocity of the instantaneous center P, if you consider the same on the spool B, that equal to omega 2 into AP. And here VPH equal to omega 4 into HP. But here relation is AH equal to HP. So as AH equal to HP, that means what is the meaning of AP? AP equal to AH plus HP. But AH equal to HP, that means this can be written as omega 2 into 2 HP. And in this case omega 4, what is the meaning of what is the value of omega 4? 2 omega 2 into HP. This what we have written is AP equal to, this can be written as AH plus HP, but AH equal to HP, that's what is stated in this statement. So that means we can write 2 HP. So these two become equal. So answer C is correct. And what's about answer D? So point P lies at the intersection of the line joining B and C. What is the intersection of? So if you draw this one like this, B and C, it going like this, and again if you draw this line F and G, this is also going like this. So it is saying this is the intersection and P lies in this intersection. Obviously this is wrong, because in the initial we have seen that our instantaneous center should lie on this line joining the instantaneous center 1 and 2 and 1 and 4. So answer is C here. This is asked in 2012, and here we have a higher pair. So far we have seen lower pairs, and this is having a higher pair, and this omega of the circular disc has given, but the circular disc is not fixed at the center but at a eccentric circular disc. That means it's not fixed at the center, instead it's fixed at here. And the angular velocity of the follower link, so if it is rotating like this will rotate like this up to certain distance and come back again. So what is the omega of this one? So first of all let me name these links. This is the link 1, and this is the link 2, and this is the link 3. So we have 3 links. So here we need to find out omega 2, and how to find out omega 2? Again the same procedure. So first identify instantaneous centers. So what is the instantaneous center between link 1 and 2? That is a 1 2 at this point. Let's say this is the O1. And what is the instantaneous center between link 1 and 3? This is again 1. So this is a 1 and 3 at a point O2, and instantaneous center between 2 and 3. So what could be the instantaneous? So how to find out the instantaneous center between 1 and 3? So we know from the Kennedy's theorem, these three links, link 1, link 2 and link 3, these three in the relative motion with each other, such so that this instantaneous centers of these three links should lie on the straight line. So it should lie on this line joining this line. So we don't know where is this line. But link 2 is a follower. This is a rotating as well as sliding on the link 3. So if I take it as a sliding one, so it should be this should be perpendicular. So this should be perpendicular to this link 3, and at this instant this follower is perpendicular to the cam 3, and what is the normal to this perpendicular? So that always should pass through the center of the circle. So it should pass through like this. So this should be like this. If it is only sliding, then it should be like this. But here it's not only sliding, and it's also touching here, it's rotating, and it's passing through this one. So that according to Kennedy's theorem, this instantaneous center 2 3 should lie on this point, and this is touching only at the center, this center of the line joining these two instantaneous center 1 2 and 1 3. So this instantaneous center of the links 2 and 3 should be here, 2 and 3 at the center of the disk. Here center of disk is not equal to the rotation of the disk. So I consider this as a C. What is the meaning of instantaneous center 2 and 3? At this instant, this link 3 and as well as link 2 are rotating, these two together rotating about the instantaneous center 2 3, or otherwise again we know that relative velocity of these link 2 and 3 at this instantaneous center 2 3 equal to 0, or absolute velocity of the link 2 at the instantaneous center 2 3 is equal to the absolute velocity of the absolute velocity of the link 2 at the instantaneous center C equal to the absolute velocity of the link 3 at the instantaneous center C. So that is C. So we need to equate these two. But we know what is the velocity of the C if you consider the point on the link 3. So that equal to VC3 equal to omega 3 into distance between O2 and C, that is a 5. And what is the velocity of the instantaneous center C if I consider a point on the link 2? So I extended this link in a such a way that it is having the point C also. So that is C2 equal to omega 2 into distance from the center of rotation to the center of instantaneous center. So that is a O1C. O1C. What is the value of O1C? That is a 50 omega 2. So if I equal these two, omega 2 equal to what is the value of omega 3? That is a 1 into 5 by 50. So this is 0.1 radian per second. This is asked in 2015, and this we have already seen while dealing the theory itself. So here this is moving like this, and it has given velocity of the P. So if it is rotating like this, its velocity P is moving in this forward direction. So velocity of the Vp is given, and he also mentioned that this is making pure rolling. So whenever it's a rolling without slipping, so here velocity at this point, if I consider this as a this is a point P, and and this is a point r. So velocity at the point r is 0 because here instantaneous. At this instant, this whole body is rotating about the point r. That means instantaneous center is here and velocity of the r is 0. And when this is rotating or rolling like this with the omega, then what's the velocity? That means what is the velocity of the VQ? This is r omega, as well as it's also moving in the forward direction, that is a Vp. And what is the velocity at point r? At point r, because of this rotation, this is a r omega, but this is moving in the forward direction, that is a Vp. So but we know velocity at point r equal to 0, that means r omega minus Vp equal to 0. That means Vp equal to r omega. But what is the velocity at point Q? That equal to r omega plus Vp. But what is the value of Vp? That is r omega. R omega equal to Vp. So 2 into Vp. But Vp is given as a 10. So this is a 20 meter per second. So what is the velocity of the point Q? That is a 20 meter per second. So instead of asking to find out the velocity at different points, if it is given like this, stating that it's rolling without slipping, then we already know that instantaneous center is at the point R, or the point where this disk is touching the ground. So in the either way you can ask the question.